Welcome, Prabhu. Thank you for accepting the offer for the interview. I'm very happy that you are here and that we can talk about your life and your wisdom.
Surely, Master. It's my great pleasure. So kind of you to be interviewing me.
So,
Um,
would you like to talk a little bit about the martial arts you do and why you do this and how you teach this?
sure, Master. In my childhood, I used to be very weak,
Hmm.
sickly in my. I used to study in a boarding school, a Jesuit public school named Loyola Public School.
Hmm.
So it was uh, quite a distance from my home, and I used to fall sick often. My father used to come and treat me mostly because he was a qualified homeopath.
Hmm.
So that time I didn't have any knowledge of martial arts. I was weak. I was even bullied by stronger kids.
Hmm.
After I left school, I started practicing karate initially.
Ah, okay.
Gozuryu, Japanese, and Okinawan Gozuryu karate.
Hmm.
That strengthened my body,
Hmm.
made me healthier.
Hmm.
Then I practiced kung fu, wushu.
Wushu. Hmm.
Then later ninjutsu,
Ah,
Japanese
okay.
ninjutsu.
Hmm.
Then I trained in some South Indian martial arts also,
Kalari
like
Payat.
Varma Kalai, Tamil
Ah.
martial art. People
Hmm.
know about Kalari Payattu. You must have been in Kerala previously, I guess.
Hmm.
Kalari Payattu. There's a South Indian martial art called Varma Kalai. It's more
Ah.
like the dim mat you practiced.
Ah, I see. I see.
You are a dim mat practitioner. So it's like striking the vital points.
Hmm. Hmm.
Martial arts for me is a way of life. Without martial arts, I'm a nobody. I'm nothing because
Hmm.
martial arts gave me confidence,
Hmm.
strength, good health.
Hmm.
So I've made it a way of life. I've
Wonderful.
taught martial arts professionally all over India, even abroad. I've been in US, I've been in Europe, I
Wow.
taught there also. Now,
Wow. Wonderful.
mostly I practice
Yeah.
myself.
Hmm.
I teach very few people because my training methods are all old school,
Hmm.
means rigorous conditioning, hand conditioning. You look at my fist,
Oh, I see.
I punch iron, I punch concrete. So
Yeah.
people are not willing to do all that stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm more busy practicing myself. Every day I train with a few students. So
Very
it's
good.
more like a way of life for me. Every day I practice martial arts to keep myself fit,
Hmm.
healthy,
Hmm.
to connect with my creator, higher self, because there's a lot of
Wonderful.
spiritual stuff in
Hmm.
the martial arts. Like I train in these mudras.
Yeah.
This is cuisine, earth
Hmm.
element, water, fire, air, like that. These are some secret mantras associated with them. So when we take the mudra and you chant the mantra, you are connected to that elemental energy, earth elemental,
Hmm.
fire element. So it's a highly spiritual art.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, Master.
Wonderful. So I heard that you train a lot in the hills and that you also our friend to the wild dogs over there. Is there a special relationship to nature?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because I was born and brought up initially in a village. My home used to be in a small forest. We used to have a farm, lot of animals. My mother used to keep lot of buffaloes for milking them,
Hmm.
poultry. Then we had goats,
Hmm.
things like that. Funnily, there used to be snakes also around, cobras.
Yeah.
They used to move around like they were our pets. They never used to bite us. My
Oh.
mother used to converse, to talk with them, to talk with cobras. She was not afraid of snakes at all. She
Hmm.
used to talk with the animals like they are humans. So since my early childhood, I'm I'm an only child and no siblings. I was
Hmm.
born late to my parents. 25 years after the married, and they given up all hope, I was
Hmm.
born. So I used to be a single kid,
Hmm.
always mingling with nature. Nature is my best friend
I see.
because around that place, not many kids were there.
I
So
see.
I used to travel around,
Hmm.
just mingling with nature. Even here, where I live now, there's a lot of hillocks. I go there to practice
Great.
martial arts,
Hmm.
Reiki, meditation. So nature is part of my life. And I
Wonderful.
believe that we're all interconnected through
Yeah.
nature. All
Yeah.
beings are interconnected. Though we may feel superior, I think there's a connection between the
Hmm.
rocks, even rocks,
Hmm.
all animals, all plants, every part of the creation is connected to our heart chakra. So that's where the love, universal love radiates. Like for you, I hope you don't mind if I call you laughing Buddha. You have the energy of laughing Buddha.
Thank you.
You are so powerful in your healings. Yes,
Yes, I follow my path, like you follow yours, and I think that is important because then we can also help people.
yeah,
And so your your mother was a wise woman, a woman who has a very spiritual gift, right?
yeah. And since I was only child, I had a lot
Mhm.
of freedom, not much restrictions. So I used to do whatever I liked.
Mhm.
Sometimes I used to go fishing,
Mhm.
sometimes hunting. That part of my life, I used to hunt, I used to trap birds, wildlife.
Mhm.
Now I wouldn't touch anything. I'm
I see.
a vegetarian now, vegetarian, lacto vegetarian.
I
I
see.
don't even smell eggs, let alone eat them. So I don't harm anything now.
Mhm.
Not bird, not fish, nothing. They're all my friends.
Mhm.
That's the way I am now.
I,
I meet a lot of street dogs
Mhm.
which roam around here.
Mhm.
So they are all my friends.
Yeah.
I take my pet for a walk. I have a dog, Shogun, just lying down here. So we go for long walks. On the way, we meet a lot of other dogs.
Mhm.
Mostly my friends become Shogun's friends.
I see.
So I feed some dogs also. Some dogs come up to my home.
Mhm.
We feed them. One female dog, we named her uh, Rani. We
Mhm.
named the dog Rani. It comes up to my home twice a day for food. She lives in the neighborhood. And our own dog, we treat him like our son. We don't feel he's a dog. He has such intelligence, intuition. He can understand our emotions, our moods. And so we respect him like he's part of the family. And if he won't allow me to raise my voice against his mummy, he'll come and jump on, protective, very protective towards his mother. And he loves Reiki. He loves homeopathy. Any problem he has, sometimes he may have some digestive problems, vomiting, and diarrhea. I treat him. I give him homeopathy, do Reiki. Half an hour, he's okay.
Wonderful. So you are a trained homeopath, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to explain to our listeners about homeopathy and about why you use homeopathy, and maybe that you also use homeopathy to support spiritual development?
Yes, Master. Homeopathy has been part of my life since I was born, because my father was a professional homeopath.
Ah,
So I was born and brought up in homeopathy. First medicine I received is homeopathy.
great.
But later I was put in a boarding school far away from home. So they used to dump me in a hospital if I had any problems. School administration used to put me in a hospital. Then they would telegram my father. That time we didn't have telephone also in my home. So telegram. So my father used to rush to where I am. He used to treat me with homeopathy. The English medicine, it never used to cure me. You see, I had pneumonia, I had diphtheria, I had typhoid. Name it, I had it. All cured by my father, homeopathy.
Very good.
So initially, I learned homeopathy from my father since I was about 15 years old. Later, after I passed out of my +2 college, I enrolled professionally for homeopathy. I studied for 8 years professionally, 3 colleges. And I'm qualified to practice homeopathy. Past 35 years and never taken for myself anything except homeopathy. Only homeopathy. No antibiotics, no painkillers, no allopathy at all. If
Great.
English medicine suddenly disappears from the face of the earth, no problem for me. Homeopathy is there for everything.
Right.
You name it, that can be treated through homeopathy very speedily. Just you put the pills on your tongue, it goes into the nervous system, it starts working. See, there's a lot of similarity between homeopathy and Reiki, because this is energy medicine. Homeopathy is energy medicine. Reiki also is energy medicine. Both act on the vital force, correcting any blocks in the ki flow, chi, prana, that stuff. And Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, the founder, is born in Germany. He was initially an MD in allopathy.
Yes.
But he gave up English medicine because it didn't work for his patient. He started homeopathy. So the process of making homeopathic medicines That's called potentization. It's right now, scientific research indicates it's quantum physics in action in
Yes.
homeopathy. Now it's scientifically proven, except in a few countries where they say it's placebo. How can it be placebo? I have treated dying patients with homeopathy. They have recovered. Dog doesn't know about homeopathy. It doesn't know about placebo. There's diarrhea, I give it arsenic album 200C. It's cured. So it's acting. Like Reiki, people may believe it, people may disbelieve it. But you know, I know, Reiki works, homeopathy works.
Oh, yes, it does.
So even if people disbelieve, no problem. Those who believe, they'll be benefited if they use it. So without homeopathy, without Reiki, without martial arts, I cannot do. Those are part of my life.
I see.
Every day, I need the three. Homeopathy, martial arts, Reiki.
Great.
Three intermingled into one way of life. That's the way it's for me, Master.
Great. Thank you for sharing this. So you live a life of a shaman, it seems to me. Being related to nature and working with the energies and
Yes.
being within one tribe with the animals. So what would you recommend for a student who just starts the spiritual path? Are there any books they could read you think would help them to get a basic understanding of what spirituality is?
Surely. I think every new student starting on a spiritual path would be better. You'd be better off reading The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. You must be knowing that small book.
Yeah, I know.
Alchemist. Alchemist. Everybody seems to quote. You ask some movie actor, they'll say, "Oh, must read that." Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist.
Yeah.
And Illusions. That's a small book again. Illusions. Richard Bach. Richard Bach has written another book also, Bridge Across Forever. But this is a small book, Illusions.
Yeah.
Very good book. It makes you let go of all limiting beliefs.
I see. That's important.
It makes you understand your personal power. It can overcome anything, your personal power. So, Alchemist, Illusions, Autobiography of a Yogi.
By Yogananda.
Yes. Those three books initially, they are a must read, I would say.
Thank you.
Your big book of Reiki symbols, I have it. That's another must read for all Reiki masters. That's very well written, master. Exhaustive knowledge from your vast experience. Some must read. I haven't finished it because it's a big book. I'm on my way. It's a long way.
It is. It is absolutely. Yeah, it's when I wrote that book, at a certain point, the publishing house said, "You must stop writing now because that's too big. We cannot sell it anymore." So I stopped writing after 1,000,000 types.
But it's a indispensable book. Nobody has written anything like it. You're given so much knowledge. about the origins of the symbols, the Japanese kanji, all that stuff, highly valuable.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there basic martial arts move you would recommend to a spiritual student? Just a basic thing, even if the student has no opportunity or is not willing to do the whole martial arts, but is there a certain thing, a certain exercise you would recommend a spiritual student?
Surely, Master, you know, the horse stance,
Oh yeah,
standing in a horse stance
yeah,
and punching,
yeah.
that's a complete exercise in itself. Actually, it trains your legs, your limbs, hip, your diaphragm, your ki, chi, prana, and punching power, leg strength, punching power. Just standing in the horse stance, even for a few minutes properly, it's difficult. So somebody trains standing in the horse stance and practices punching like that. It's a very good exercise.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do you recommend meditation exercise?
Master, I've done many types of meditation, like
Yeah.
Zen meditation. Through my martial arts practices, I have done Zen meditation. I've already talked of this. Kuzian also is a form of meditation.
Ah, yeah, I see.
Then I've done transcendental meditation. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
I see.
I was at Maharishi International University, Fairfield, Iowa. I was a student there for some time.
I see.
Even before going there, I learned TM, Transcendental Meditation, TM Siddhi, Yogic Flying.
I see.
So it's not, you don't go into the air, it's like a frog jumping.
I
And
see.
you jump on some foam beds. So that propulsion is from Kundalini propulsion. It's controlled Kundalini awakening. It's a good exercise. Well, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi has expounded many mysterious powers to that. TMCD. A lot of research has been done in America. A lot of nuclear physicists have done research. Then came Reiki. Before Reiki, I've done TM Siddhi, I've done Zen meditation. Now I do only Reiki.
I see.
Reiki itself, the best form of meditation. When you're doing all this self-healing,
Yeah.
you go naturally into an alpha state and even into theta, delta states. So that's meditation.
Wonderful.
Meditation, don't need to go and sit on the top of Himalayas to meditate. You can sit anywhere. You can sit in a fish market and meditate.
Yes.
Go into the alpha state, you're already in the meditative state. That's my practical experience with meditation. People talk big about meditation. See, we have in India a lot of Swamijis. Each Swamiji will say his meditation is the best. So I'll tell them, just close your eyes, count from 10 to 1, you are in alpha state. It's meditative state. So what's the big deal about learning something else for meditation? I draw a Reiki symbol. When I close my eyes, I'm already in a meditative state.
Yes.
So if I do half an hour self-healing or distant healing or even hands-on healing, definitely that's a meditation, meditative state.
Yes.
Healing itself is the best form of meditation. While we are healing, we are connecting with the higher energy, the energy of the client, our energy is also connected. Reiki is flowing. So that's awesome meditation, according to me.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about Usui's 5 principles? What do you think about Usui's 5 principles?
Ushu is 5 principles.
Yeah, like only today, do not worry.
Yeah. That's very good, very good. People, they think chanting it is something great,
Yeah.
but you have to emulate, you have to follow.
Mm-hmm.
When you follow it, it's definitely great, because don't be angered. That's very vital. Anger creates a lot of negative toxins.
Oh, yes.
Disrupts prana, disrupts ki. So when
Yeah.
you follow the 5 principles, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a spiritual way of life.
Wonderful.
Actually, you have reminded me to recheck,
Yeah.
restart following those principles. I'm very thankful to you for reminding me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So you are training also students, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell about a little bit about how you train students and what is the path of a master for you? Because you are a master in your own right since many years. So I think that many people who want to go for mastership can learn a lot from you.
Yeah. You meant about Reiki or
About Reiki,
about,
about martial arts.
yeah. See, my martial arts students are all trained in Reiki also by me,
Great.
because I
Mhm.
make it compulsory for my personal students to learn Reiki. They should understand that spiritual aspect. They should be able to heal themselves, heal
Yes.
others. So I even train them in basic homeopathy also. Homeopathy for common ailments,
I see.
homeopathy for injuries, homeopathy for some emergency use. I
Hmm.
teach them. My students, personal students, are trained in martial arts, Reiki, homeopathy. All three combined gives the best results day to
Hmm.
day life. Suppose suddenly you need some emergencies there, injury, bleeding, what to give homeopathy,
Hmm.
how to do Reiki.
Hmm.
So even before they go to a doctor, bleeding would have stopped, because hemorrhage can be fatal. A cut, injury, continuous bleeding, person will die within minutes. So you give them some arnica 200 injury,
Yeah.
hemamelis 200, phosphorus 200, ferrum phos, you know all that stuff. And you do Reiki.
Hmm.
First aid, nobody is going to stop you from giving first aid. You don't need to be a doctor to give first aid. A
Hmm.
Reiki, according to me, is the best first aid. Also,
Hmm.
it's the best preventive, prophylactic. I'll give you an example, Master.
Hmm.
I was going on a motorbike,
Hmm.
70 kilometer speed.
Hmm.
Some car comes and hits me head on
Oh,
from the side.
yeah.
I don't know what happened. By the time I'm aware, I'm just standing on my feet. Nothing happened to me. No
Wow.
injury, no scratch, just some dust on my clothes. The car driver is shivering. Oh, what happened, sir? Your motorbike is mangled. Shock absorber is cut and gone flying somewhere. My leg is just few inches from that shock absorber. Nothing happened to my leg. Shock
Wow.
absorber flew away.
Wow.
So I just told the driver, how you're driving so recklessly.
Mhm.
Sorry, he said, okay, go. My motorbike just piece of scrap, mangled beyond repair. So I
Mhm.
had to buy a new bike, but nothing happened to my body,
That's
not a.
great.
So I would attribute it to Reiki protective energy. Always activate a protective pyramid of Reiki energy for myself, for my
Mhm.
family every day.
Wonderful.
Reiki, rainbow Reiki, body of light,
Great.
Corona Reiki, all the symbols I use to activate a
Mhm.
protective pyramid of Reiki energy. And it has worked. Otherwise, I'd have been dead long ago. So many accidents, injuries. And it strengthens the immune system also. Now, everybody is afraid of COVID 19, COVID 19. I'm sitting here, I care least about it. It's
Mhm.
as good as common cold, that's all. It's a
Mhm.
virus. Common cold is a virus.
Mhm.
Flu is a virus. Same category. COVID 19 is a more severe type of flu. Your immune system is strong, nothing can affect you. Forget about COVID 19. Somebody releases new virus. You and me, thankfully, were not afraid.
That's how it should be. Thank you. That is a very interesting advice you give. Um, what is for you the path of the master, the path of the martial arts master, the path of the Reiki master? Could you give our listeners some of your wisdom about that?
Surely, Master. A Reiki martial arts, they're very compatible, related to each other.
Hmm.
In Japan, the founder Mikao Shui himself was a samurai warrior. He
Yeah.
practiced martial arts.
Yes, he did.
Then he meditated on that mountain. He got the Reiki energies when he was passing through difficulties. For me also, Reiki came in at a time in my life when I was in the utmost difficulties. I
Oh.
never imagined I would learn Reiki. It came in just like that. First learned Ushui Reiki, master's levels, Karuna Reiki. Then I learned your Rainbow Reiki, body of light.
Hmm.
All the three combined, they are just uplifted out of all that problems.
Hmm.
Just everything vanished, and
Hmm.
I made a new way for myself. So I'm eternally grateful to you for having taught me Rainbow Reiki, body of light. That's
Hmm.
out of this world. Very, very powerful. Why I call out of the world, it's totally different from Shui Reiki.
Hmm.
All the symbols and the way you attune shamanic attunement. And we could experience that power.
Hmm.
It's highly spiritual.
Hmm.
If you ask me to what's the difference between Ushui Reiki, Corner Reiki, Rainbow Reiki, body of light, which I practice. Ushui Reiki, of course, it's the fundamental foundation,
Hmm.
basic Reiki. You can't do without it.
Hmm.
On that, William Lee Rand has assembled all that symbols and Corona Reiki. It
Hmm.
works quite fine, but your Rainbow Reiki is totally out of the world. When you say Lemuria, when you talk of your past lives,
Hmm.
initially I didn't have much experience before I learned from you. about that past life connection. But now I feel much of what I'm an expert in is connected to my past life.
Oh, yeah.
Even for me, martial arts, homeopathy,
Yeah.
Reiki. Very few people combine all these three together. There are Reiki Masters, there are homeopaths, there are martial arts practitioners. But combining them together to get the best of the three, in India at least, I don't know of anybody. So I am blessed by the Creator, by yourself, by Reiki. So grateful.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you have a vast experience and knowledge about Reiki. Would you like to share some of the exceptional moments when you did Reiki, what you experienced with Reiki to inspire our listeners?
Definitely, Master. Reiki aroused and activated extrasensory perception,
Oh, great.
ESP. So my third eye chakra is more active. I'm more intuitive now. Sometimes my wife will ask me, should I wash the clothes because she dries them outdoors? Is it going to rain or not? She'll ask me. So I'll tell her, no, don't wash. There'll be bright sunlight, but half an hour later, there'll be rain here, conventional rain, sudden rain. So that intuition, it got activated after I trained in your Reiki, especially the rainbow Reiki body of light. That main structure of the body of light, it connects us with our source. So we get, I feel of all Reikis, the rainbow Reiki is highly spiritual. Your teachings incorporate feng shui, so many other elements, Lemurian tantra and all sorts of stuff. See, I have keen desire to learn what all you are willing to teach. But when I look up the list of what you can teach, exhaustive list. You're one of the few masters in the world who knows all that stuff. I don't find anybody. People teach one Reiki, one style, Ushui Reiki, something else. But you teach Rainbow Reiki, 7 rays meditation, white feather shamanic healing. I missed that. I came later for your training. The first batch people, they learned it from you. So sometime I should catch up to learn all that from you.
That would be
Preferably,
great.
I would like to come in person and train with you in
That is
Germany.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
Went to Europe.
You could also do this via webinar. For the next year, I will only give webinar because of coronavirus. And so we meet all over the world, you know.
It's true. Later, the times will change definitely once more for
Yes, they will.
contact classes.
Of course they will. So is there a special story you like to share about your Reiki experience? Something where Reiki was creating a miracle, something, a big healing or something?
Yeah. There was one of my martial arts students, he's a rich guy. He was traveling long distance by a four-wheeler, by a car. So had swelling of the knees, big swelling, both knees. He couldn't hardly walk. So we consulted some orthopedic physician. Didn't work. What they gave him didn't work. So he consulted a physiotherapist. That man told him it will take 6 months. Your joints are worn out, he said. Physiotherapist. So the guy came back to me, says, Master, please do Reiki. Give me homeopathy, whatever you want, you cure me. So I told him it will take maybe 3 weeks daily, regular Reiki healing, homeopathy. Fortunately, by 10th day, is okay. No swelling, nothing. He's able
Wow.
to walk. 2 weeks time, I started exercising again.
Mhm.
So orthopedic physician said it will take 1 year.
Yeah.
Physiotherapist said it will take 6 months.
Mhm.
And I could cure him in 10 days with Reiki
Mhm.
homeopathy. So the guy is very, very thankful. So he continues to, he has learned Reiki then.
Mhm.
Then he continues to exercise. He's quite fit. Well,
Mhm.
it's not a very dangerous problem,
Mhm.
but I have treated some cases who are in ICU, given up cases. So
Mhm.
I'm called by a prominent hospital here in Hyderabad
Ah.
to see a patient.
Mhm.
Patient is diagnosed with some worm in his brain.
Oh.
Doctor, he has a worm in his brain. They suspect, they're not sure. They want to perform an explorative surgery to see if there is a worm. If there is
Mhm.
a worm, they'll remove it, otherwise they'll close it.
Mhm.
Patient got scared, said, I don't want surgery. Forget about worm or whatever it may be. I don't want surgery. Please call Dr. Prabhu, myself,
Mhm.
for Reiki healing.
Mhm.
So they sent me a taxi. I went there to the hospital. Guy was just lying on the bed. He can't move his limbs. Quite an young guy. No major problems. All the vital organs are functioning perfectly well. Heart, kidneys, lungs, digestive system. Everything is fine.
Mhm.
Except he's paralyzed in his legs.
Mhm.
Legs he's unable. So I did one Reiki session,
Mhm.
about 45 minutes, 1 hour. Gave him some homeopathy, came back home. 3 days later, I got a phone call from that guy. Sir, I'm walking in the hospital corridor. Thank
What?
you. Then he said, hospital has billed him for 5 lakh rupees.
Mhm.
Big sum here in India, 5
Yeah,
lakhs.
that's much money.
And all I got paid is 5,000 rupees, less than $100.
I see.
So patient is cured. Reiki, homeopathy. Again, I combine them, always combine them because they're complementary. We get the best result when we
Yeah.
give homeopathy, do Reiki.
Mhm.
That guy is about 35 years old, not an old guy. He's quite fine even now. Worm, they've forgotten about it. Nobody talked of the worm after he started walking. That's
Great.
the
Great.
thing.
Wow. That's a very, very interesting story which you share with us,
Thank you.
and it would inspire many people. Thank you. Uh, so, uh, so for you, homeopathy and Reiki are working very well together, I see.
Very well, extremely well, I would say.
And you also treat animals, right?
Yeah. I treat animals, but most people they don't know that I treat animals. I treat my dogs around here. One of my dog friends,
Mm-hmm.
man, street dog, it had a whooping cough, vomiting, very weak. So it followed me home.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave it Drosera 200C,
Ah,
homeopathy.
mm-hmm.
Did Reiki, fed it some food. Third day, it's fine.
Great.
It went away to be with his friends. It's cured. Even today, we met that same dog when I went for a walk. It's
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, see, it's not a pet of anybody. It's my pet actually because it lives outdoors, but still my pet, friend
Yes.
of my dog.
Yes.
So homeopathy, Reiki especially work very well for pets. Here, people are not aware of that. I
Mhm.
need to make people aware. I'm actually seeing patients in my home, so treating pets is a bit difficult. With
Mhm.
Shogun, my pet here, they should start barking and things like that.
I see.
They tend to get uncontrollable, you know. So I
Mhm.
treat just human beings for the present.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So I think this is something very positive because humans did not treat animals well. And if such a great healer like you helps the animals, then they see that we care about them, that they are important to us.
Grandmaster, I was actually asked to offer a course in Reiki, a Reiki healing homeopathy treatment
Mhm.
course in
Great.
US
Wonderful.
2021. Maybe we'll plan it. Contact course, not
Yes.
online. People want to bring their pets and
Yes.
we should conduct the class for the owners as well as the pets, hands-on class. We'll show them how to heal the pet through Reiki,
Mhm.
basic homeopathic treatment guidelines for
Wonderful.
common complaints for pets. That will work very well.
That's a very good idea. And I think that many people love pets and they just need to know about these wonderful combination so they can help better.
Yeah, it's very easy for pet owners to learn basic Reiki, you know, level 1 and 2 Reiki they learn.
Mhm.
They can heal themselves.
Yes.
About 10, 15 homeopathic medicines, they know how to use the
Yeah.
indications, guidelines, symptoms on which to prescribe. Something like common complaints, first aid can be done by the owner himself.
Hmm.
Vets, veterinarian doctors, they can learn Reiki.
Hmm.
Even physicians can learn Reiki,
Everybody, yes.
do on their patient, dentists, surgeons. Oh, I forgot to tell you, my two brother-in-laws, my wife's brothers, they had open heart surgery,
Oh.
heart surgery.
Hmm.
So I was called to do Reiki after surgery,
Hmm.
and they recovered very fast. They were
Hmm.
just complaining of pains and all that stuff before I did Reiki. After I did Reiki, they were sleeping peacefully. So first, my second brother-in-law had a heart surgery. I treated him. Then elder guy got surgery. So I was called. So they said, you healed that guy very fast. So we must heal this man also. So
Hmm.
I said, okay, what to do? Wife's brothers are to heal them. So just half an hour Reiki, no pain.
Great.
The sutures, all that heals very fast.
Hmm.
Reiki works very fast for injuries, especially, Master.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like you give homeopathy and Reiki, any injury, even fractures set properly by orthopedic physician, they will set very fast with
Hmm.
Reiki when they are properly set. So
Hmm.
that some need surgical intervention to set properly, proper alignment of what is broken.
Hmm.
Then you do Reiki, you homeopathy, Symphytum 200C. Bone knit, it's called bone knit, knits the bone.
Hmm.
So God has been great, given us all the healing tools in
Hmm.
Reiki and homeopathy. Martial arts, of course, for fitness, self-defense.
Yeah.
So I'm here to all the three. I think it's the biggest blessing for myself, for
Hmm.
my family.
Hmm.
That's what I feel very happy about.
Yes,
Health is the ultimate wealth, I feel.
absolutely.
Thank you, Master.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Wow. You also traveled a lot internationally, is that right?
Yes, Master.
Would you like to give us some of your impressions from your international travels and what you did there?
Yeah. Uh, Initially, first country I've been in is Japan.
Ah,
I've been in Japan by a cultural exchange program. One of my relatives was a minister, political minister of my
mhm,
state. So he has some Indo-Japanese organization there. They keep exchanging travelers. India people go to Japan, Japanese people come to India. While I
right.
was 19 years old,
Mhm.
I went there, all expenses paid.
Wow.
There, fortunately, I met some martial arts masters. So I stayed back for more time than the actual people sent me.
Okay.
That's how I learned some martial arts, ninjutsu especially.
Ah.
Then I've been to England, London,
Mhm.
UK. My daughter used to live in UK previously.
I see.
Right now she's in Switzerland.
Mhm.
Switzerland.
Mhm.
I was in US while I was 40 years old on a 100% scholarship. 40 years people, actually I was the oldest student in that batch, 2000 batch of Maharishi University,
Mhm.
MS computer science. I
Ah,
was
study computer
oldest.
science.
Yeah, yeah. I studied
Oh,
computer science. Though
wow.
I've never done a job, computer related job, I studied MS computers. I'm very conversant with all software engineering stuff.
Mhm.
Even now, I practice martial arts, homeopathy, Reiki only.
Mhm.
I don't do any computer stuff except on my MacBook here. I don't work for anybody.
I
I
see.
like to be independent, but that's not my bread earner. My bread earner is homeopathy, Reiki, not even martial arts. Martial
Mhm.
arts for my training, not
Mhm.
as a profession now.
Mhm.
As a profession, I practice homeopathy, Reiki.
Mhm.
So I've been invited to several European countries before this coronavirus came on.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just waiting for it, like you are, to travel.
Yes, we are waiting to come together in person,
Yeah.
you know, and it's I originally planned end of last year to go to the United States, and I wanted to
Oh,
go
yeah, yeah.
Argentina and Mongolia and Spain and England, and now I'm here in Germany and I make the best out of it and do what is possible.
Yes, master. But certainly a new way of teaching has opened up, This virtual training is not so much in demand previously, but now it's almost the only way for all education. Universities, they're offering online classes.
Yes,
Schools are offering online classes.
yes.
I've yet to start any online class, but I will start Reiki training, martial arts training,
Very good.
homeopathy too,
Mhm.
online. The new way of doing things. That's really challenging.
Please drop me a line as soon as you do. I will share it on Facebook because I'm very much loving what you're doing. You are a great teacher, and I hope that the students will come and you will see that your knowledge and your wisdom will come to fruitful hands.
Thank you, Master. So kind of you.
So thank you very much, Dr. Prabhu, for this wonderful interview. And I wish you the very best. And I, I'm happy that we stay in contact again.
Same with me, Master. It's a great pleasure. So kind of you to interview me. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. And my regards to your wife. Bye bye.
Thank you, Master.